Today, I wanted to do a video going over 4 areas that you can focus on to improve when it comes to your hunting gear list. When you look at all the gear that you take hunting and how important it is and how beneficial it is to you on the hunt, a backpack is going to be at the top of that list. It's something that you're wearing all the time. You're constantly using it. It needs to be durable. It needs to hold weight well. It needs to be comfortable. Those are all things that you need to be thinking about in the current setup that you have right now, and if you need to improve or upgrade to a new setup. For me, I do a lot of backpack hunting, so I need a backpack that has enough room to carry all the gear that I have for multi-day, 10-day type of hunts. So usually 5,000 cubic inches or more. And then I'm kind of a minimalist when it comes to my backpack and what I like. So not too many pockets, not too many zippers, kind of has everything that I need and nothing that I don't. But most importantly, having a comfortable backpack when you're out in the field. It's going to be able to hold weight well. It's going to be comfortable in heavy conditions. One thing to also think about when it comes to your backpack is, do you have a designated load shelf that you can put meat? That is one thing I remember when I first started hunting. I did not have a pack that had a designated load shelf that I could put meat, and that was really difficult sometimes, and I had to shove everything inside my pack with all my gear. And that's where a lot of these quality hunting packs come in handy, is because most of them are going to have a designated load shelf that you can put your meat. It's going to carry weight really well, and you're going to be more comfortable overall. So those are kind of some options and things that you need to think about when it comes to backpack and the different style of hunt that you're going to be doing and what makes sense for you. Next is going to be your sleep system. So I think everyone knows by now how important it is to get good quality sleep, especially when you're out hunting. You're going to be more energized, you're going to have better recovery, you're mentally going to be better. All those things come down to how well you sleep at night. A sleep system that fits you and is comfortable and has everything that you need is going to be really important on a hunt. And I think it's an area that a lot of us can improve on. I know it's taken me a lot of years. I've tried many different sleeping bags, sleeping pads, all those different things to find the setup that's most comfortable for me. The sleep system that I have found that works best for me is the Stone Glacier Chilkoot 15-degree bag. The reason I really like this bag is the overall room. I'm kind of a side sleeper. I move around a lot when I'm sleeping, so having more room in the design of the sleeping bag and not so tight is really something that I like, and it allows me to roll around, be more comfortable throughout the night, and it's also warm. So this is a 15 degree. This is the one that I basically use throughout the year. I think that 15 to 20 degree is the best range. You can use it from the beginning of the season to the end of the season, and you should be just fine. One other thing that I really like about a sleep system that I think some people miss out on or skip out on is a pillow. A pillow is really nice. I think it really helps me sleep better. This thing weighs an ounce. They're very lightweight, and they're just going to overall make it more comfortable when you're sleeping. So if you don't have a pillow, that's an easy upgrade and improvement that you can make in your gear list. Like I said, weighs nothing and really comfortable at the end of the day. And then the final thing in your sleep system is going to be your sleeping pad. And I have gotten a ton of sleeping pads over the years. For me personally, what I've found with the Thermarest sleeping pads is they're going to be the most durable. I've had this same sleeping pad for like 3 years, 4 years. I've had no issues, no holes, always works well and is reliable. I think that's important when it comes to a sleeping pad. The one thing I like about the Thermarest is it's lightweight, R value of 4, so I can use it all season long. And it's thick enough where when I sleep on my side that I'm not touching the ground. So making sure that your sleeping pad is comfortable and it's thick enough that you're not touching the ground, it's gonna keep you warm. All those things are things to consider. Overall, when it comes to your sleeping system, I think it's important to think about weight and comfort. You wanna weigh that fine line between the both where you're still being weight conscious, but it's still comfortable. Or if something that you value is good sleep and comfort, bring a bigger sleeping pad, bring a bigger pillow. All of those things I think are important. And if there is one area that I might sacrifice weight is in my sleeping system, because I think that is something that is super important and it's going to be very beneficial on your hunt. Number 3 is your shelter. So I think this is probably the easiest thing that you can look at to possibly upgrade or improve on, especially if you're looking to cut weight. Shelters are the heaviest thing in your pack besides your water and food. Understanding that you can cut weight with your shelter, and nowadays with all the different shelters on the market, you can really find some pretty cool options that are going to be lightweight, roomy, and have everything that you need. You'll see here for my setup, I have the Argali 1-person teepee with the mesh insert in right now. Overall weight with the mesh insert, 6 stakes, and the teepee, you're looking at about 2 pounds. If I wanted to ditch this mesh insert, it's about 1 pound with just the teepee and 6 stakes, which is super lightweight and definitely cuts a ton of weight in my overall pack. There's so many different options out there. You got the Sky Air ULT from Stone Glacier. That one's also very lightweight. You got the Tiger Wall from Big Agnes. That's a super lightweight option. The reason I really like this, and something that you should think about when it comes to setting up your tent, is how easy and how quickly you can set up your tent. I just don't like taking a lot of time to set up my tent, so I've been going more towards easier setups, more efficient, quicker setups that I can get in and go to bed as quick as possible. And that's one thing that I really like about this teepee setup from Argali. Like I said, it's 6 stakes, really easy, fast to set up, 1 trekking pole, and I'm good to go. Lay down my footprint, sleeping bag, sleeping pad, and everything, and I'm sleeping. It takes me no time to set up, which is awesome. If you still have that 5-pound tent that you're carrying around on your hunts, your backcountry, multi-day hunts, you know, be sure to check out these new tents that are on the market. There's a ton of really good options, really fast setups, lightweight, and overall great shelters with plenty of room in here for your gear to sleep and everything that you need, keeping you protected from the elements. I highly recommend for everyone. I do it almost every year just to check out all the new tents that are available, is looking at my shelter if I can improve on it. The final area that I want to talk about is your optics setup. You can't hunt and you can't kill what you can't see. And that is 100% true. And optics are going to be one of the things that's going to help you find more animals, which is going to lead you to be more successful out in the field. And the first thing that I would look at when you're, possibly thinking about getting some new optics is your optics on your chest. These are the optics that I use the most. So having good optics on your chest, I prefer a 10x42. I think it gives you the best field of view. That 10 magnification isn't going to be too shaky when you're freehanding. So 10x42s are my preferred choice when it comes to what I'm wearing around my chest. And then secondly, hands down, the easiest upgrade or improvement you can make on your optics setup is a tripod. If you don't glass from a tripod, you're honestly missing out. I can't explain how important a tripod is when it comes to glassing and how much more game you'll find when you're glassing off a tripod. Still to this day, I'll go even with friends who aren't glassing off a tripod. I'm definitely finding more game than they are. I'll see a lot of people out in the field without a tripod. And if you're going out, I really think it's beneficial to think about getting a tripod and adding it to your optics setup. It's super easy, lightweight, and it's going to be extremely steady when you're glassing. For me right now, this is just a lightweight Subaru tripod, and then I have a Tricer LP head on here, which is going to be a really lightweight option. And a lot of the times we get questions about how do you adapt your binoculars to a tripod. So what I do is I have Vortex UHD 10x42s. I have a Vortex Bino adapter, and then I have an Arca Swiss plate attached to that. And I can leave that on there at all times. Fits easily in and out of my Bino harness. And then I can easily slide that onto my tripod and start glassing off a tripod. So if you're looking to mount your binoculars on a tripod and you don't have any mounting systems, there's a ton of options available. Vortex has some good options, Arca Swiss plates, and all that stuff is going to function well with your tripod to easily go on and off and be glassing more steady. The last thing to think about in your optics setup that you probably need is a spotting scope. So for me, I have, Vortex. This is a 65 objective. I kind of like the 65s. They're a little bit lighter. I'm usually backpack hunting, so I like the lighter options of 65, but having a good pair of binoculars that you wear around your chest at all times, having a tripod, and then having a spotting scope. If you have those 3 things in your optics setup, you're pretty much going to be good to go for any type of hunt that you do, and it's going to be something that you can use for a long time. Those are the 4 main areas that I recommend that people focus on if they're looking to improve their gear list for this fall. That's your sleep system, your shelter, your optics setup, and your backpack. And I'm not saying you need to improve everything at once. This is all stuff that I've built up over the years, but kind of choose which one you want to improve on each year. And before you know it, you're gonna have a full system that's gonna be really efficient. You're gonna be able to hunt harder, you're gonna find more game, and overall, you're gonna have more success out in the field.